Hello, everyone. Welcome to Iit Startups Virtual Demo Day. We thank you all for taking the time to participate in our fifth demo day, showcasing exciting new companies founded by IITians. I am Prem Uppaluru, Chair of Investor Relations for Iit Startups. Iit Startups is the brainchild of Manishi Sanyal, who launched it in 2018 with the help and support of well-wishers and volunteers to help IITians start successful high-tech businesses. IITians worldwide have started many high-tech business ventures, many of them successful, and a few of them unicorns. There are over 14,000 IITians alumni in the Bay Area and hundreds of startups founded by IITians. IITians are typically smart and savvy when it comes to technology and product development. However, to be successful in business, you also need to be good at identifying urgent unmet market needs, conceiving superior value propositions, and figuring out profitable go-to-market strategies. That is where Iit Startups comes in. We coach brilliant engineers to become successful entrepreneurs. We focus on early stage pre-series A companies for our accelerator programs. So far, 61 companies have gone through our rigorous cohort program. One company already found a successful exit and many secured funding. Right now, we are all adapting the best we can to an unprecedented situation caused by a global pandemic. However, a crisis is also an opportunity to change and innovate. So Iit Startups rose to the challenge and adapted a virtual cohort program with virtual coaching, mentoring, and demo day. Now this virtual platform gives us the capability to extend the cohort programs beyond the Bay Area to help IIT entrepreneurs as well as recruit coaches and mentors from around the world. This expansion has been our aspiration, but now it can be accelerated to reach a global scale. Can we move the slide, please?
Yeah, one sec.
One of the key objectives of our cohort program is to help our portfolio companies raise seed and Series A funds. Cohort programs prepare the companies with their messaging, and demo days showcase them for potential investors. When rubber meets the road, we measure our success by the number of portfolio companies that get funded. We have invited a number of seed and Series A investors, and many of them have registered to attend this event today. We thank them for their interest and participation. Next one. Iit Startups is a nonprofit organization largely dependent on volunteer coaches and mentors drawn from our successful IIT alumni who wish to give back to their alma mater. But like any accelerator group, we need real money to pay for infrastructure and operating expenses. So we are grateful for the generous support we have received from our sponsors. Lightspeed Ventures, it has over $6 billion in its management. They have funded many companies with IIT founders, Nutanix, AppDynamics, Rubrik, and Zscaler, among others. Next slide, please. Canaan Partners has over $5 billion of capital under its management. They too have funded many successful companies with IIT co-founders. Lending Club, Instacart, SuccessFactors, some of the examples of their portfolio companies. Both Lightspeed and Canaan have been early and consistent supporters of IIT Startups, both in terms of participation and sponsorship. We have received multi-year generous grants from them, and we appreciate their commitment to our mission. We encourage other investors too to consider sponsorships as well for this worthy cause. We have been fortunate to have many VC firms, corporations, and service providers help us with hosting coaching sessions, pitch reviews, and demo days by generously lending their facilities and providing their services and underwriting food and beverage costs. We want to acknowledge these various organizations for their sponsorship and support. Many of you may have known or know about late Professor Rajiv Motwani. Rajiv was an alumnus of IIT Kanpur, a professor in computer science at Stanford, and an advisor as well as a seed investor in Google. We remember him fondly for his intellect, generosity, and love for IIT. Asha Jadeja, Rajiv's wife, and an accomplished investor on her own, runs the Motwani Jadeja Foundation that has been a sponsor and supporter of IIT Startups from our inception. MJF has recently announced forming a $1 million fund to invest exclusively in IIT Startups, portfolio companies. We thank Asha and MJF for their generous and continued support. IIT Startups was founded, as I said before, by Munishi Sanyal, who continues his role as its chief evangelist. Manoj Goel now leads the group as its president. I help out with investor relations. Bidyut Parak and Amit Gupta are the co-chairs for the cohort program 5. And Jnani Palanikumar helps out with the corporate relations. Shrikant Chari, Deepti Desai, Vasudha Paul, and Vrushali Malpekar contribute behind the scenes with marketing, infrastructure, and operations. A lot of planning, dedication, and effort by many volunteers, as well as participating companies, went into arriving at today, Demo Day 5. We want to acknowledge and thank our sponsors, mentors, coaches, and all the volunteers who have graciously given their time and resources to make this happen. With that said, let me hand over to Bidyut and Amit, who will lead the rest of the Demo Day program. Thank you and enjoy the show.
All right, thanks, Prem. I will start. All right, I'll get us started with the Demo Day slides. All right, our core program includes a set of workshops on subjects such as go-to-market strategy and fundraising. We use a panel of, I'm having trouble with this, so I'm just going to show this in the full screen and let it be view. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at this and we'll just continue on, okay? So our core program consists of a number of companies who are presenting today. What we have done is we have gone through a set of workshops on subjects such as go-to-market strategy and fundraising using a panel of external VCs as well as industry experts. We have a number of companies, and which are shown here, who have qualified to participate and present in today's presentation for the Demo Day. Mentors or coaches are the backbone of our program. We have a number of mentors who have worked, which are shown here, who have worked one-on-one with the startup founders, helping them flush out their strategies, help the founders with homework. Yes, we do provide homework. They also have opened doors for the founders by making introductions. We would like to take this opportunity to thank them all, our mentors. We also have coaches who help organize the workshops and provide continuous training and coaching for the startup founders. Each of these volunteers have spent quite a bit of their precious time to bring the startups to where they are today. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank them all. And lastly, we are starting to take our applications for the next cohort. And here are the URL you can use. It's a tiny URL, startups, IIT Startups-cohort 6. And we always welcome more mentors and coaches, and you can sign up here or we'll talk about it later. Lastly, I wanted to talk about and do a quick poll here to see how are you connecting to this meeting. If you could take a quick minute and let me know how you're connecting and how well the audio is working, that will be great. All right, looks like most of you are connecting directly using the Zoom app. There is another way of connecting to our meeting. It's using Instapp, which is one of our startups, and through that, what you get is a much better interaction with the startups. And what ends up happening there is, if you click on that link, which is an icons, tiny URL Iit Startups, you get at that point to this page where you can go to the main event, look at the agendas, you can go over using the about startups, you can look at each of the startups. And most importantly, after the meeting is over, you can actually go to the breakout rooms and talk to the startups, founders themselves. And there's also, I would encourage you to use this. And if you like a startup, you can say like. If you would like to connect with the startup, you can press the connect button to connect. And that's pretty much what you can do with Instapp. So without any further ado, let's jump into the startups themselves, and we can talk about what they're doing. Our first startup today is helping companies ensure that high quality data is empowering their data operations, business operations, to make them productive business decisions. They have traction in the market, and they have already crossed the 1 million ARR revenue rate. They have some marquee customers to show off. Here's Ashish to say more about his company.
Thanks, Vidyut. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Ashish Singhvi, founder and CEO of DVSum. Our business-driven data quality and governance platform is helping companies like Coca-Cola achieve accurate forecasting, faster predictions, and reliable planning. We've proven the traction with 1.1 million in ARR and looking for investment to accelerate our growth. In 2000s, data integration and business intelligence revolutionized how enterprise data is harnessed to make business decisions. In 2020, data engineering and data science is doing the same, helping with predicting business outcomes and automating decision making. Back then and now, the one thing that allows these capabilities to be effective is high quality, that is valid, consistent, and accurate data. But data quality continues to be a massive problem. $600 billion in US alone, and on average company, the impact is about $13.3 million. The challenge with most companies is that ensuring high quality data is a slow, manual, and reactive process, because the current setups are IT focused data quality tools. They do not address the business challenges that are coming from the business organizations. Moreover, whenever bad data is detected, fixing it requires complex coordination between business and IT. All of this comes at the cost of lost business productivity and IT resources. DVSum offers an integrated data quality and governance platform that allows you to discover, audit, fix, automate, and govern data across functions and applications. Once you connect DVSum to your data sources, it intelligently scans, catalogs, and classifies your data. A powerful, intuitive interface allows business users to easily audit the data, declare their cleansing and detection rules, and automate the process through workflows and schedules. As a result, business can achieve higher data quality, reduce the time in fixing exceptions, and ultimately do it without reliance on IT or third parties. Our product is live. We have traction in the market with recurring revenue from multiple customers like Coca-Cola. Currently, our ARR is $1.1 million, and we have grown at 170% for the last 2 years. Our revenue projection is 6 million in ARR in 2 years and 50 million in 5 years. And 50 million in 5 years, we'll be able to achieve this by focusing on sales execution, referral and technology partnerships, ultimately leading to use case and sector expansion. We are addressing a well-defined large market of data quality and governance tools. Out of the $6 billion market, we are targeting 500 million in SOM, focused on North America, manufacturing, retail, consumer goods sectors, and enterprise segment. Our business model is simple: software as a service. Our ACV ranges from $60,000 to $150,000 with a 7 to 10 year life cycle that gives a high LTV. Our competition is established data integration vendors, pure play vendors, and IT organizations that don't like the first two. Our differentiation is the broader coverage, speed of detection and fixing, and ultimately 13 times higher, faster time to value for our customers. The proof is head-to-head wins that we've had against competition. We have a well-rounded starter team. I have 20 years of experience in supply chain and analytics, working with companies like Dell, Philips, Cooper Tires. I've seen firsthand how data quality impacts business operations and business initiatives. Along with me is Zishan, who heads our engineering team with experience in building enterprise SaaS applications. We are looking to raise a pre-Series A round of $5 million for a 2-year runway. The focus of the investment will be towards scaling our revenue engine, the goal being to achieve the 6 million ARR with 35 to 40 new logos. In summary, we are addressing a large global market. We are providing a sticky, high-value product that results in higher ACV and LTV, and we have demonstrated traction and proven the growth, which ultimately makes us a great opportunity to invest in. I'll welcome you to join our virtual booth after the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidyut. Sorry. Okay, let's get started. So autonomous vehicle technology has come a long way in the last 10, 15 years. And we're now realizing that A, autonomy will come to freeway and commercial market first, and B, the last mile and the unexpected will need to be done differently. I'm delighted to introduce our next startup, Remnav, which is filling these gaps to make autonomous driving viable. Please join me in welcoming Gopal.
Thank you, Amit. As Amit said, autonomy is coming and it's going to be big. But after over $15 billion spent, no one, not even Waymo, has an outlook for deployment. And that is the problem we are trying to solve at Remnav. We are building the missing pieces that makes the deployment practical and possible. Our initial focus is on trucking. We are focused on the long haul and regional trucking, which spend majority of their miles on the freeway. Our solution enables a remote human driver to teleoperate the vehicle on the city streets, surface streets. Surface streets is the challenging part. That's the unsolved problem for the autonomous technology. And it may not be solved for many decades. And that is where we come in. Our product is a set of cameras and sensor suites that go on top of the vehicle, along with our algorithms and software that runs both at the remote station as well as on the vehicle. Teleoperation is a very hard problem. The existing solutions for the teleoperations don't really work. They are not able to drive the vehicle at full speed. They are limited to very narrow geographies because of their bandwidth requirements. And they are unable to deliver a imagery to the remote driver that is anywhere close to what the in-cab driver sees, particularly in the bad weather or in the nighttime situations. We have spoken to Volvo, we have spoken to BMW, we have spoken to many others, and they concur that these are the problems that need to get solved in order to make teleoperation fill in the gaps. We have developed a breakthrough paradigm shift in how the vehicle is controlled, which completely hides the network latency from the operator, enabling the vehicle to be driven at full speed. Our compression technology identifies what is not interesting for driving, steals bits from that, and delivers manifold improvement over state-of-the-art compression. Our visualization technology
Thank you, Gopal. Our next startup is Feather Health. Getting high quality label data is critical in training AI models. Feather Health is using AI to create label data, or actually to label EKG data, and thereby help bringing a cardiologist to every wrist. Please join me in welcoming Nikhil.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nikhil Goyal. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Feather Health. Cardiovascular disease takes 1 in every 3 lives, and almost everyone here knows someone close to them that deals with or has passed away from a heart condition. 80% of these deaths are preventable through early detection and continuous monitoring. The electrocardiogram, or EKG, is the best first-line diagnostic tool to actually detect a heart condition. And in the last 2 to 4 weeks, we've seen Apple, Fitbit, and Samsung release health-focused smartwatches that can capture multiple biosignals, including EKG. So this is fundamentally new infrastructure. And new infrastructure means new data and new modeling capabilities. However, the actual functionality of the EKG on these smartwatches remains quite limited. You can only detect 1 out of over 20 diagnoses, namely atrial fibrillation. And the AFib detection on these devices suffers from quite a high false positive rate. And with competition in the digital health space heating up, companies are looking to add additional EKG classifications, and that's where Feather comes in. Think scale AI for EKG. We accelerate the detection of heart conditions by labeling EKG ground truths at lower cost and latency. And in doing so, we unlock the EKG on the smartwatch. Now, there are 2 main problems. The first is that it takes a long time to get a lot of labels. And so this means a slow training process, overfitting due to too few labels and not enough captured edge cases, which leads to a slow FDA approval process and thus a slow go-to-market. The second major problem is that data scientists are incredibly anxious about the quality of the ground truths that they're getting from this data, and they should be, because the data is basically super noisy, wrist-based bare metal data, as well as it's super subjective. So actually 2 cardiologists or 2 cardiac technicians may disagree on any particular EKG record. So like Scale, we accelerate the labeling process using automation and statistical techniques to ensure accuracy. We also abstract away the entire labeling pipeline And actually, the more complexity we can abstract away for our user, the data scientist, the happier they are. Our target customers are revolutionary, deep-pocketed companies that are looking to bring about preventative care by using machine learning. We estimate that there are about 5 billion EKG records collected from these devices annually. About 10% of that will be used as training data, and about 10% of that will be sent to an external party at a higher price point for rigorous, high-quality ground truths. We already outperform our competitors, which are fully manual cardiac rhythm analysis companies in India and the Philippines, as well as we outpace them on latency and cost. We've converted 2 successful pilots into contract discussions, one with a leading Korean RPM company and the other with an American FDA-cleared device maker. We also have very high buy-in, data buy-in from CTOs and heads of data science at our target customers, and we are building like crazy. We have a young and talented team from Slack, Stanford, Berkeley, Google, and we deployed real-world machine learning and software at these companies. Additionally, we're advised on the clinical side by Dr. Oliver Alami, who's a cardiovascular surgeon, professor at the Stanford School of Medicine, and director of digital health at the Stanford Bayer Center for Biodesign. Finally, we're looking to raise $2.4 million in a seed round. We've raised already pre-seed friends and family round from a board-certified physician, a Teal Fellow, a former healthcare investor at Iit VC, and the current CEO of a travel marketplace. We're looking for an average contract size of about $250,000 over the next 12 months for 4 customers. Thank you all so much. I look forward to chatting with you in our breakout room, and let's unlock health on the smartwatch together.
Thank you, Nikhil. Right. We're now seeing the impact of climate change in our daily life. Our next startup, Enact, is addressing this challenge with a critical infrastructure for the clean energy industry. Enact has already gained great traction with their digital platform in use by more than 100 customers. Please join me in welcoming Deep.
Thank you, Amit, and welcome everyone. Solar is a $100 billion a year industry and the largest and fastest growing source of new electricity in the US. Yet, this industry pretty much runs on paper. Welcome to Enact Systems. We are taking the renewable energy industry to the digital cloud. Enact's digital platform allows installers and manufacturers in this space to develop new projects and manage assets all on the same cloud. We started with solar assets, added energy storage, and heading to complete energy management. And this is a proven platform. We have 100 plus customers, $1 billion a year of transactions on the platform in a very fast growing addressable market with customers in 15 countries. So let me tell you about how our end-to-end platform is transforming the space. There are 2 major problems in this industry. First, it's a very fragmented industry. Small installers control the market in every country. In the US alone, Tesla is by far not the winner. Thousands of small companies control the space, and they operate very inefficiently with 50% plus soft costs on a deal, and struggling with Excel sheets and tools, not using digital. More importantly, customers in this space suffer. Whether you're a business or a home procuring these solutions, it's a difficult thing to procure and also understand the economic value. The cost benefit is hardly clear to customers years after procuring them. And finally, manufacturers are also struggling with the same problem. You have hundreds of billion-dollar companies in this industry, yet no channel to access. Installers are all fragmented. So we have developed an end-to-end business platform for the last 5 years, launched it and grown it in around 15 countries. On the Enact platform, installers can develop new projects digitally and remotely using imaging, augmented reality, with all the different data sources at one place to come up with proposals and contracts live digitally, execute such projects online, as well as after the execution, the assets directly talk to the platform through cloud links, informing customers of actual savings, live ROI for the asset owners, and manufacturers have a single place to now go to understand the warranty implications. This platform is now across the world being used by large players Installers is where we started our initial journey, now expanded to end customers as well as OEMs. Some of the largest installation companies in the world, like Black & Veatch, is the largest solar developer, is using Enact in 6 countries. Similarly, one of the largest manufacturers in this space, Jinko, is launching the storage on the Enact platform. We also have end customer portfolios like Pebblebrook, who have solarized multiple sites using the end-to-end cloud. Enact has come a long way with $3 million in seed funding and a government grant from the Department of Energy, which helped us achieve the proof of concept and revenue, crossing $1 million run rate. And now we're raising a $5 million round to build out the sales and marketing organization in the US, primarily focused on the US market, also expand the platform, and take our revenues from the $1 million rate to $40 million rate in the next 4 years. We have a strong pipeline of billion-dollar customers already closed in the last couple of COVID quarters. Competition in this space is largely point tools. You have, on the one end, installer apps for specific functions. On the other hand, you have manufacturers all trying their individual apps, which are not going to achieve the objective of the industry problems we talked about. You need an independent end-to-end platform serving the stakeholders, which is where we are going after. We have a decades of experience on the team. Ashish heads our engineering. Sharmila is developing a revenue growth. We have collectively angel investors in both the software and the financial services space, and patented some of the core algorithms that has led to a very rapid expansion in multiple countries at once, backed by AI and machine learning. So we have a long way to go, but to leave you with some of the highlights again, proven end-to-end platform in this space in a very large addressable market, growing rapidly, raising a $5 million round. We're also seeking platform partnerships with technology companies and channel marketing companies. So thank you for your time and look forward to sharing more on the breakout room and appreciate your questions.
Our next startup took the feedback and the coaching from the mentors and the coaches to heart. Despite these difficult times, they put a lot of effort, really a lot of effort into customer discovery, which led to customer wins and eventually funding. Accordingly, they decided not to pitch in this demo day. To talk about their experience at Iit Startups, here is Sam.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sam Joseph, co-founder and CEO of Hakimo. As Bidit mentioned, we were lucky to have secured funding already, and we're not looking for additional investors right now. Still, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Iit Startups and to tell you how Iit Startups have helped Hakimo and other fellow companies here over the past 5 months. It basically boils down to 3 things. First, Iit Startups gave us a methodical way to approach building a startup. We got specific actionable tips on various aspects, ranging all the way from getting the value proposition right to building a proper financial model. Second was an invaluable help given by coaches and mentors. As Prem mentioned in his introduction, Iit Startups is a nonprofit, and we were fortunate to have an awesome set of coaches and mentors led by Bidit and Amit, who spent countless hours working with us. Last, but definitely not the least, is a fellowship from fellow founders. Building a startup is not an easy task, as everyone knows. The emotional and moral support that we got, being part of this wonderful group of founders, was instrumental in keeping ourselves sane during the early days of our company. Thus, to conclude, I strongly encourage all IIT founders out there to apply for the next 6th cohort and accelerate your startup to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. 3D printing is taking over the manufacturing world, with production doubling every 3 to 4 years. Our next startup, Adiguru, dramatically improves the manufacturing yields, generating massive business volume and further accelerating the adoption of 3D printing. Please join me in welcoming SK.
Thanks a lot, Amit, for the kind introduction. My name is SK, and my company name is Adiguru. Adi comes from additive manufacturing, which is the technical term for 3D printing. And Guru comes from the fact that we are creating a guide for metal 3D printing process. Imagine you are a 3D printing part provider. Your business is booming.
SK, you're not presenting anything.
Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, I was talking about that if you imagine yourself as a 3D printing part provider, and you know your business is doing well because aerospace and medical implant companies are giving you a lot of orders. However, there's a huge scope of improvement because the defect rate on your parts is 40%. And because of that, you have to X-ray scan each and every part. That is a waste of more than $2 billion annually. Now, here comes AdiGuru. We can identify defects in real time by using machine vision, sensor engineering, physics-based modeling, deep learning, and obviously our knowledge of material science and deep process insight. You can save a lot of money, time and money here. For example, if your build is 5 days long and after 1 day, a defect comes in, with AdiGuru software and its notification, you will be able to save 4 days of your time and material on these expensive $1 million machines. Your yield will improve significantly, and you won't have to X-ray scan each and every part. That could be savings of greater than $3 million per customer per year. So this is not only a huge value proposition for a user or a customer, but also the market is growing very fast. It's $14 billion this year. It'll be more than $33 billion in 5 years. Monitoring technology is very important for this market, and it's growing fast. It'll be more than $1 billion in a few years as well. Now, since this is much needed in the market, there are many companies working on it. However, their approach has been more on using expensive hardware. The way we are working is we are using affordable and off-the-shelf sensors, which can be quickly deployed with our software and our modules. Also, we are taking a unique approach in developing our solution. What we have done is we have quickly created a pilot, an MVP, and we have deployed it as pilot at Volunteer Aerospace in Knoxville, Tennessee. They love what we are doing and want more deployments. We also are very excited that we'll have a paid pilot starting in next couple of weeks. Also, we'll have other pilots starting at Additive America, University of Tennessee, and University of Michigan. We are also partnering with well-known names in this space, as well as we have good conversations going on with a major defense supplier. We have been talking with Boeing, and they have shown a lot of interest and provided us with some letters of support. I started this company because I know this space, and I noticed that people are approaching the problem academically and impractically. They were monitoring melt pool, whereas that is not the right way to go. I have launched many products in the past, as well as I have run a startup before. So I started this company, and then Vineet joined me, and he has scaled a lot of technology products in the past. Bharat has a lot of machine learning and AI experience. So together we make a strong team. Along with that, our advisors are experts in this field and have helped us a lot with networking opportunities. We are a strong team solving an important problem and providing a good product in the industry. We are already getting traction. Now we need to run fast and capture the market, and that's why we need money for that. So whoever wants to come along with us, please come and see us in the breakout room. Thank you very much.
Every enterprise B2B sales require proof of concept these days. Our next company, Pudding, is making the proof of concept smarter and faster. They've already have many paying customers, and they got listed as Gartner School Vendor in 2020. Without further ado, here is Vic.
Thank you, Bill. Hi, everyone. My name is Vic. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pudding. Now, enterprise sales is hard, and deals take forever to complete. So I was saying, enterprise sales is hard. Deals take forever to complete. And what makes it even harder is the longest part of the sales cycle are managed on generic products. Let me repeat. Almost 80% of the B2B sales life cycle is not get managed on the purpose-built product. It's a bold claim, I know, because there are so many sales products out there, and still 80% of the sales life cycle does not have any dedicated product. Now, here is the problem. A sales deal on a high level has three components. The first is prospecting and qualification. Then it goes into proof of concept, or known as POC, which is the longest part of the sales cycle. And if the POC is successful, then it closes the deal. And if the POC is not successful, then it goes into the deal doesn't get through. Now, the component of prospecting and qualification is crowded with the products, but there is no product available today to manage proof of concepts. Now, let me give you some insights about the POC. Why do we need to solve this problem? A POC takes about 3 months to complete. During this time, it involves about 6 people. And after spending months of time with so many people resources, almost 30% of the POCs fail. That means 1 in 3 deals fail. Even some of the best sales engineering teams brag about 80% of the success rate, which means even for them, 1 in the 5 POCs fail. So why POCs are so important? Because they are very OpEx heavy. Let me give you an example of a POC of a company that, let's say, runs 100 POCs in a year, which is very common for a small to medium company. If a company is doing 100 POCs in a year, they would be spending $6 million in OpEx cost. And if we go with our previous calculation, they will be losing 30% of the revenue. Even if they're doing better, still they will be losing a significant revenue. This is where Pudding comes in. Pudding is a platform that provides features to our customers that solves primarily 2 things. We provide our customers tools to make the POCs more efficient, providing them more OpEx savings, and we provide them more predictability of results. That means more revenue gain. In our last 18 months of existence, we have been already listed by Gartner as a cool vendor. Now, this is a huge space. Every company, whether in aerospace, healthcare, oil and gas, finance, retail, you name a company, almost every company does proof of concepts as a part of their buying and selling process. This is a huge market, almost $1 billion in sum, and we have more ideas how we can expand this. Now, here is what our traction looks like. Today, so far, we have 8 paying customers with some very well-known logos. Our revenue retention rate is really high. That means we are very sticky, and our LTV is pretty high. We are currently going through 5 active trials, which is worth about $250,000. And apart from that, we have a very good conversation going on to move more customers into the trial stage and maybe closing them soon. We have a very well managed and very well rounded experienced team. I bring a lot of experience from sales and sales engineering. I have managed hundreds of POCs in my life. I've worked for companies like Cisco, Juniper, and many startup companies. We have Chandrika, who brings a lot of execution and leadership experience. He has a tremendous experience in building customer-centric teams. And we have Hamid, who's our co-founder and CTO, and he brings a lot of experience in building the products. He has, before coming to Pudding, he was running his own service company where he built and managed many, many products. This is our ask. We are looking for $2 million in seed, which will primarily go into R&D, sales, and marketing. This will give us about 24 months of runway. We are looking to acquire 50 new customers and 2 million in ARR during this time. Just to recap, Pudding is first to market product for the POC management. We already have 8 customers and Gartner listed as a cool vendor. Thank you. We'll be in the breakout, so come and ask more questions. We'll be happy to schedule more demos for you because at the end of the day, proof is in the pudding. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. Low code and no code is all the rage these days with companies like Webflow and Airtable achieving unicorn status. This is just the start though. Forecasts are that 500 million small apps will be created in the next 10 years. Our next startup, aptly named No Codes, is the next step in evolution of no code, using conversational AI and NLP to power every enterprise user to unlock the data in their systems. Please join me in welcoming Sridhar.
Thank you, Amit, for the kind introduction. Hello, friends. I'm Sridhar, co-founder and CEO of No Codes. No Codes is a conversational approach to build enterprise applications. We are paying customers in our private beta. enterprise app building was stuck till 2010. Recently, the low-code and no-code tools have created a lot of buzz. Everyone can build an app is the holy grail, but solutions today fail to meet these expectations. We know this because we have tried many of them. To create an enterprise app revolution, app creation should be easier, much easier. Enterprise users can talk about how they use an app. They can narrate situations or solutions to problems in plain English. They can answer questions about what they want to build. This information should be sufficient to build an enterprise app. Isn't this next-gen no-code? No-code is a platform for building powerful apps without needing to code or having any technical knowledge. All you need is a clear idea of the app you want to build. We ask you questions about what you want, how the app should look and work, and our AI builds the app in the background based on your answers. You get to see the app being built right in front of your eyes in an app preview. You can pull in data from internal and external sources. You can also bring your own APIs or connect to popular ones. Once you've answered all the questions, your app is ready to use. To summarize, you answer questions about the app. The no-code's app engine using NLP, AI, and automation builds the app in the background based on your answers. You can deploy it immediately on web, Android, and iOS. Cloud infrastructure, app testing, scaling, and app management tools are also automatically generated for your app. So we take away all the complexity so you can enjoy using the app. When you build an enterprise app, just by answering a series of questions, you have reduced the complexity of app development to one easy step. This changes how apps will get built in the future. We empower employees to build technology solutions by themselves, and the net result is a 10x faster app development, fewer tech resources required or used, and a lower total cost of ownership, making enterprises really happy. We are paying customers for our private beta product. The apps created are in production and in daily use by our customers. Our early focus is in finance, healthcare, and industrial space. No codes can be used by multiple departments, functions, and use cases across these industries. And this is a very large market opportunity. According to Gartner and Forrester, it's about $20 billion today and growing. Forecasts, as Amit mentioned earlier, forecasts estimate 500 million new apps will get created in the next 5 to 10 years. And our focus is serving the non-technical employees who would be needed to help build all these apps in the near future. I'm Sridhar. I have experienced co-founders Srinivas and Raghu with me. We are repeat entrepreneurs. We have built scalable software products and businesses that have had real market impact. Individually, we have worked across multiple verticals, functions, and problem areas. And together, we share a unique perspective how enterprise software needs to be built. We are seeking $2.5 million in seed funding to build a scalable business and delight 50 customers. Please join us in making no codes a success. We would love to answer any questions in our breakout room. Thank you.
Thank you, Sridhar. While we have great fintech innovations from companies such as Stripe, Marqeta, Plaid, which make it easier for developers and companies to build new products and bring them to market on credit card and the banking side, we have seen very little innovation in the area of gift card. At the same time, gift cards are a large business. They have pretty much been the same for last 25 years. Here's Stripe for gift cards, introduced by Ram.
Hi, everybody. This is Ram Galamudi from EJNext. We're building Stripe for gift cards. Restaurant gift cards are like a $25 billion segment, right? Last year in 2019. And for many of these restaurants, they make a few $100 million of high margin, high profitable customers through these cards. And then customers also get a lot of delight through these gift cards. But these gift cards are incompatible with our delivery lifestyle, which is post-COVID world's reality. For example, if you have a Cheesecake Factory gift card, you can't use it on DoorDash to order cheesecake food. Same goes with Starbucks, Uber Eats, or any of the brands and any of the apps. Secondly, I guess if you want to order a gift card through Instacart to be delivered from Safeway, Instacart does not deliver gift card category at all. This is largely because the existing backends are completely unconnected. You've got the gift card processors, you have the brands, and you've got the delivery apps, and none of these guys are on a single rail to enable a single real-time transaction to be authorized, and hence the transactions cannot go through, right? What we are doing is we're integrating backend with all these disparate systems of these thousands of brands, 50 or 100 of these processors at the backend, and provide a simple single interface for a DoorDash to be able to integrate as part of the checkout process, so that they can now accept hundreds and thousands of these gift cards of different brands. Just like Stripe would help them accept different bank cards, credit cards, this would help them accept different brand gift cards. Right? Our business model is very simple. Just like Stripe, we charge a 2% transaction fees, which goes through the network. And given that there's no Visa, MasterCard, and we do the settlement at the back end between the brand and the app, we get to keep most of that margin. Plus, there's a whole bunch of tools which enterprises and brands need at the back end for the redemption management, controls, and collaboration, and next-gen services, where there's an additional software revenue opportunity. There's been a lot of innovation actually on the bank issued credit card side, right? You've heard a lot of successful models from Stripe, Marqeta, but very little actually has happened on the brand issued gift card side, right? So we want to be able to take some of those learnings from the best of breed and build some stacks and new set of innovations for these brands and for these new apps and delivering new kinds of services to the consumers. We've got some enormous set of interest from our traction from our partners, right? To start with DoorDash, in our first meeting with DoorDash, right? A senior exec who was earlier part of Square, he loved the concept. On the day one, he said, I want to work with you guys. When are you starting, right? So we have an access to 50 million users, potentially we can integrate and take to market, right? On the backend side, we have a great relationship and we are integrating with Blackhawk. They are the #1 gift card company in the world. On day one, we can get access to more than 100 such brands, right? So we have the content, we have the distribution, we're building the rails, now it's just connecting the dots together. Our team has been working on gift cards for the last 2-3 years, right? Our set of advisors have a lot of domain experience. My co-founders are your quintessential millennial hackers, power coders. I'm very proud in terms of what technology they've built. I've been a serial entrepreneur, multiple startups, and as Donald Trump says, a stable genius, right? And a lot of the opportunity was co-created along with one of our advisors, Blackhawk Network CTO. And a lot of this actually shows up, right? We actually took our technology, built a gift card business in India as a test. And within the first 12 months of our launch, we are already at a $250K, $250,000 monthly GMV run rate, right? So we actually have the tech, we understand the business, we understand the motives and incentives. These are foundational pieces in something larger. The larger being, we want to build an enterprise currency exchange platform. Imagine, right? Imagine you have airline miles or points you want to now use to actually buy a Chipotle burger, Chipotle burrito. Why shouldn't you? Today, then there are no network rails available. We want to be part of that. Actually, we want to build it. And it's a large $700 billion market. In fact, we are giving you a chance to also join us in this venture. We're looking to raise $2 million as seed round to complete our integrations and launch with our first large distribution partner early next year. I'll be available in the break room, so would love to chat with you more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. AI is changing everything, and sales is no exception. Our next startup, MoData, has a unique AI-based platform for B2B sales management. This platform has proven itself in over 100 organizations with a great word of mouth leading to accelerating traction. Please join me in welcoming my namesake, Amit Tiwari.
Hi, everybody. This is Amit, and thank you, the other Amit. I'm a co-founder and CEO of MoData. Steven and I started another company before we started MoData. And long story short, we were losing a lot of deals and we had no idea what was going on. We figured, like most of you do, that sales analytics is a solved problem. So we're just going to go talk to a bunch of sort of seasoned sales managers and we'll know exactly what's going on. Well, that's exactly what we did. And turns out the problem was universal. In fact, by their own admission, these guys told us that they're losing as much as 25% of potential revenue compared to best-in-class sales teams, right? That's $10 billion left on the table just in B2B SaaS every year. The problem seems to be that no single company has enough sales data to identify what we call a successful deal chase pattern, right? The managers don't know what, at the granular level, what these best-in-class sales reps are doing so they can actually coach their other reps. The same story exists in the sales sort of process data. You have some general benchmark data available, but nothing granular enough so that you feel confident that let's just go change our sales process. So now they know that the sales process is not working, but they don't have enough confidence to change the process. Well, that's exactly what we're trying to change. We offer a solution as a freemium model. We provide a lot of value to our customers. In return, gets access to terabytes of sales data. Mind you, this data is sort of locked right now. There's no way to get access to data. So one of the things we have been able to do is to get access to this large quantities of data, which allows us to sort of push us through the AI model and get that holy grail of sales analytics, where you have the blueprint, which is individualized blueprint for every customer of what a successful deal chase pattern looks like. Now we can compare every deal chase to that pattern and identify how to fix things, right? This also sort of sets in motion a metric where you can now go from a freemium customer, more customers we get, more models, better data we get, more models we create, and the cycle continues. Our customers don't really have to change anything other than what they're already doing. We integrate with their existing sales stack. We pull a lot of data and expose the intelligence through the tools that they're already used to, right? And so we have our own sales reporting tool, pipeline management there, but they're just a tad bit more intelligent because now they have a lot of data that backs them up. We have 10 paying customers. Since our inception with the freemium model, we have signed up 500 plus customers. We are adding one customer a day. At this rate, we are doubling the size of our sales corpus, the data corpus every 3 months. We're tracking 1 million deals every day. That means every sales activity in those deals, every attribute change in those deals is tracked, pushed through the AI model, and it's making that AI models better as we speak. For our customers, it means 90% deal prediction accuracy, 25% better sales funnel conversion, and they can now achieve the same revenue outcome with far less sales reps, right? For Adam, one of our customers, it meant 300% improvement in sales process efficiency. Well, from the competitive perspective, the story is very simple. We use historical data to change the future deal outcome, and we have a lot of data to get it right. The products in the market right now are essentially in sales reporting category or sales workflow management category, and just lack the data backing that we do have. Our current focus, B2B tech, lends around $1 billion of market opportunity for us, $5 billion as we grow to other sales-heavy verticals like pharmaceuticals. And the idea in future is to rinse and repeat the same freemium model that we have been able to perfect with sales management in the broader revenue management case. We're looking for $4 million in funding with a large pipeline that we already have with one customer a day signing up. We should be able to get to $1.5 million in revenue in 18 months. Just to recap, we're focused on a large, very well understood market. We have a product with a very solid differentiation. We're solving a problem that we have personally experienced, and we have a large pipeline which is growing at a very fast clip. There is no clear leader in this market as yet, and we are poised to be one, and we invite you to join us in that journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amit. Coming from business operations and compliance experience, our next speaker, Mandar, decided to do something about lack of solution and created the next generation compliance solution that eliminates audits and keeps businesses in compliance 24/7 in real time. The solution has paying clients and is getting traction. Mandar?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I stopped filling prescriptions at Walgreens because of fake pharmacists. My family no longer eats at Chipotle for fear of food poisoning. Our trust in its brands has been broken. Recently, Walgreens paid a $7.5 million fine because of expired permits of one of their pharmacists. Chipotle paid over $25 million for employees' failure to follow protocols that led to food poisoning and missing permits. As a multi-unit operator for a global franchise, we wasted millions of dollars for compliance management, and yet they faced millions in fines due to non-compliance. In contrast, McDonald's suffered through 5+ years of joint employment lawsuit for too much insight into franchisee operations. Whether too little or too much insight, these businesses ended up in lawsuits, paying fines, losing brand value, and facing store closures. Pocs 451 alleviates these pains. I am Mandar Dange, founder and CEO. Undetected non-compliance is an outgoing operational problem because businesses have no choice but to use piecewise disconnected components such as HR systems or even spreadsheets. And then they rely on physical audits that takes weeks. These do not detect non-compliance in real time, nor do they provide any leading indicators. Businesses continue to drown in a pile of credentials and documents that they must manage to stay compliant through distributed workplaces and even more and more regulatory acts. Pocs 451 alleviates these pains through digital transformation of all compliance processes with legally binding workflows using our e-signature IP. Our patent-pending multi-tier architecture isolates businesses from legal exposures. The autopilot engine ensures proactive enforced compliance in real time and eliminates audits. Our unique design makes it easily configurable across industry verticals and quickly implementable. Millions of pains faced by thousands of businesses makes this a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. The $3.4 billion market is completely underserved by disconnected current offerings. Current solutions are HR-centric, passive, and myopic, and so they fail. Walgreens, Chipotle, McDonald's, and so on and so forth, the list goes on. Pocs 451's next generation multi-tiered architecture with automated enforced compliance management gives us a strong edge in the market. Pocs 451 has been validated through paying users. This month, we went live with one of our visionary clients, Infinity HR. We will be ramping to an ARR of about $200,000 by the end of our first 12 months of this engagement and expect to reach an ARR of about $1 million in the third year. This integration organically expands our offering to other clients of Prism HR platform, thus giving us access to 2 million users. We have also completed a POC with another client having 313,000 users, and going live with them will add almost $4 million to our ARR. Besides myself bringing 25+ years of hands-on experience with technology, retail business operations, and compliance, Scott Shibayama comes with 25+ years of compliance experience. Harinder Walia comes with startup executive and hands-on cloud product development experience. And our advisors come with executive level experiences from top technology, consulting, and franchise firms. We have built a product, validated the product market fit, and pricing with paying users, all through bootstrapping. To scale, we now need $2.5 million to take us through 24 months, primarily focused on business development to reach user base of 135,000. This will end year 2 with a strong ARR of $4 million with gross margins around 80%. We will also be enhancing our technology with predictive non-compliance indicators via AI-based data analytics. We are projecting to end 5th year with an ARR of about $80 million. Please come to our virtual booth and watch our compliance solution in action. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandar. We have experienced unparalleled pain and suffering due to COVID. Combating COVID has also dramatically accelerated the transformation that healthcare was already on track for, bringing more than a decade of change in just 6 months. Our next startup, Botse, is one of the companies contributing to and benefiting from this change. Their versatile robots automate movement of goods and services in healthcare settings, working in harmony with humans saving lives. Please join me in welcoming Rajiv.
Thanks, Amit. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rajiv Chamraj, co-founder and CEO of Botse. We automate the movement of goods and services in hospitals. Hospitals have a big problem. Costs are rising on one hand, and the utilization remains flat. Because of this, every hospital in America is under pressure to reduce their operating costs by $100 million by the year 2030. The pressure is coming from medical insurance companies, among others. In addition to that, COVID is increasing the need for contactless workflows to address the issues of safety and efficiency. Our solution can reduce the operating cost by modernizing the way the workflow is done today, from manual to automating the movements of goods and services via our robots. Our robots are modular, which means the same base model can be used for today's use cases as well as future use cases. So the total cost of ownership, as well as our ability to work with the existing FDA-approved systems, makes our solution attractive for hospitals and gives us a competitive advantage over others. We have proven ourselves with Adventist Health, a 450 hospital system, who is going to be our launch customer. We have a LOI from them for deployment, which we are working as we speak. We are ready to scale with JLL. JLL manages 1,500 hospitals all over US, and they're going to be our channel partners. In addition to that, they have expressed interest to be our strategic partner too. Our SOM today is $4 billion and is based on bottoms-up analysis and our beachhead with Adventist, as well as our relationship with JLL. This business requires tremendous experience from product to business development in order to execute. We bring a combined 50 years of experience in robotics, healthcare, and enterprise sales. Anup has a strong background in robotics and navigation. Daniel comes with a Rolodex, and he can open doors in any hospital system. Our advisor, Professor Koch, is authority on robotics and computer vision, who is advising us on how to fuse data from different sensor systems so that our robots can operate safely among humans in closed environments. Our traction with Adventist, as well as our partnership with JLL, proves that we can deliver what we set out to do and can grow. We are looking to raise $2 million for a 2-year runway for a target revenue of $3 million ARR. The funds will be used for deployment, sales and marketing, and new product development. Please do come and see us in our virtual booth if you have any questions. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thanks. Our last startup is Iit Startups. Some of you guys are already using it. They're helping businesses digitize interaction anywhere, anytime. You can instantly put together just what kind of interaction you need, and it can be launched using QR code, NFC tag, or emails, messages, and etc. They have customizable no code solution for virtual and live events, memberships, and more. And here's Ashwin.
Thank you. The best for the last. Insta apps enable just the right digital interactions at the right place and time. Today, apps deliver digital interactions, but in a given month, 66% of smartphone users do not install any native app, possibly to order food, renting a bike, or networking at an event. Search, download, and signups are huge barriers. Unlike native apps, Insta apps are not in app stores. Insta apps are launched from emails, chat messages, QR codes, and NFC tags. Insta apps are universal and work on all devices and desktops. With all barriers removed, Insta apps boost digital interactions with customers. Our unique IP allows a business to instantly create branded custom Insta apps without any coding and enable just the right set of interactions to engage customers quickly and efficiently. At large events such as TiECon that I have been part of for a decade, monolithic event apps could barely get the engagement in single digits. 10x engagement can be achieved with our Event Insta app, coupled with multiple QR codes driven Insta apps for sessions, exhibits, even ordering food. By enabling engagements everywhere, InstaApps.ai is a game-changing platform for rapid digitalization. Our go-to-marketing strategy is to integrate and partner. For our virtual and live event Insta apps, we have integrated with Eventbrite so as to target 4 million events a year. And a lot more is possible by partnering with someone like Cvent, Ticketmaster, and others. This strategy leads to rapid customer acquisition at scale and reduced cost. To leverage the network effect, we are partnering with Iit Startups, Thai Global, and others to use our member Insta apps for a continuous engagement across events and membership. For Thai member Insta app, they say, fantastic initiative, super excited, we can feel Thai 2.0. Events plus membership multiply our LTV and deal size. Membership and event space alone offers opportunities in tens of billions in TAM and hundreds of millions in SOM. We have a recurring SaaS revenue model for enterprise and conferences with deal sizes in the 25 to 200K range with a repeatable sales process. Insta apps is the most timely mega opportunity as product and investment. First, Apple is launching native app clips this fall, which gives a huge tailwind to our universal Insta app clips. Second, our event and member Insta apps have tremendous opportunities at festivals, games, amusement parks, and the likes of Costco and AAA. Third, for the COVID-19 era and beyond, the rapid digitalization anywhere, anytime is an absolute must. The time to put our forces together is now. Please join our team of experienced executives that have launched many businesses and worked extensively with enterprises. We are seeking $3 million for a 2-year runway with the target of $4 million ARR in the second year. Thank you, and see you at our breakout session.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thanks, everybody, for coming to this point. Okay, you heard from a number of startups at this point, and the only thing, thank you very much for sticking around, and sorry for being a little late. The next piece is next part of the event is to actually go meet with the startups, and we have set up separate Zoom sessions for each of the startups. The links can be found either on our landing page, which is iitstartups.org demo day, or you can go through the Insta app, which you have been doing so far. You can reach that using the tiny URL. And I've also given these 2 links on the chat message, so you can use that. Also, only other thing is, apply for cohort 6, and we welcome mentors and coaches for cohort 6 and on as well. So thank you very much, and see you guys at the startup booths.
Thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.